Today, we are going on a journey. We're heading deep into the highlands of Ethiopia to uncover a truly mysterious text, one that exists on the very edges of the biblical world. It's called the Book of Axsimaros. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about your favorite movie and wondered about the deleted scenes? The moments that were filmed but didn't make the final cut? Well, what if the Bible had them too? What if for every story you know, there were other versions, other visions, other prophecies that just didn't make it in? That's exactly the world we're stepping into. So here's our game plan. We'll start by exploring the incredible ancient library of the Ethiopian Church. Then we'll dive right into the mysterious Axsimaros itself and check out its amazing stories. We'll also tackle its controversial status and finally talk about why a text like this still matters so much today. Okay, so to really get a handle on the Book of Axsimaros, you first have to understand where it comes from. And that story starts with one of the most ancient Christian traditions on the entire planet. You see, for centuries, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church was kind of cut off from the rest of the world because of its geography. And because of that isolation, it became this incredible guardian of sacred literature. It held on tight to texts that were lost or even deliberately set aside by the rest of Christianity, creating this living library of ancient thought. And their Bible? It's just different. For starters, it's the longest canon in any Christian tradition. It's packed with texts that the rest of the world completely lost, like the complete Book of Enoch. You know, that hugely influential book about angels, giants, and cosmology? And it also has the Book of Jubilees, which basically retells Genesis and Exodus, but with all these new details. So this is the key thing to get. The Ethiopian tradition has always had a much bigger, more expansive idea of what Scripture could be. But here's where it gets really interesting. Even within this huge collection of texts, some books exist on the fringes. They're respected, they're read, but they're not officially part of the Bible. And that's exactly where we find the Axsimaros. So what is this thing? Well, imagine a book just brimming with these profound mystical visions. It talks about the creation of the universe, the whole hierarchy of angels, prophecies of what's to come, all of it written in this deeply poetic and visionary style. It's really something else. You know, the best way to wrap your head around its status is to think of it like this. It's the bonus track on a legendary album, or it's that deleted scene from a movie you love. It's not part of the main event, the final cut, but wow, does it give you a fascinating glimpse behind the scenes. It's cherished for its totally unique perspective. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. What kind of stories does this book actually tell? This is where things get really, really fascinating. The text gives you these alternate and often way more detailed accounts of huge cosmic events. Just listen to that language. I mean, that's not a dry historical account, right? It's a mystical vision. This gives you a real feel for the book's whole vibe. It's less concerned with who did what and when, and way more with the divine, cosmic reality behind everything. For instance, it claims to describe conversations that Adam had with the archangel Uriel after they were kicked out of Eden, talking about the nature of time and the future of humanity. And this really shows you the book's core themes. Yeah, it's filled with these grand, sweeping visions of creation, and it expands on stories we think we know. But it also gets incredibly specific. I mean, when it talks about angels and celestial beings, it goes way beyond the Bible, naming specific angelic princes and describing their exact duties in running the cosmos. Everything from the angel who guides the moon to the one who writes down human prayers. Okay, so this all begs a huge question, right? If this book is so profound and so detailed, why isn't it in the Bible? Well, the answer gets into how religious canons are even formed in the first place. And trust me, it was a long process of debate, tradition, and selection that took centuries. This chart here breaks down the key differences perfectly. On one side, you have the official books. They're considered divinely inspired scripture, they're read during church services, but the Axsimaros, it's valued more for its spiritual and historical insight. It's seen as a source of wisdom, absolutely, but it just doesn't carry the same official authority as, say, the Book of Genesis or the Gospels. So why should we, here and now, even care about some ancient, obscure text from Ethiopia? Well, because its very existence tells us something incredibly important about faith, about history, and about the power of storytelling itself. It's a powerful reminder that the Bible didn't just drop out of the sky fully formed. It was a process, more like a great river with many different streams flowing into it. For every story that became part of that main current, there were so many others that flowed right alongside it, each one reflecting a different way of trying to understand the divine. The Axsimaros is one of those powerful, beautiful streams.
So when you put it all together, the takeaways are pretty huge. The Axiomaros is a window into the incredible diversity of early faith. It shows us that deep, universal human need to make sense of the cosmos through powerful stories. And honestly, it's just an amazing testament to how unique traditions can be preserved against all odds.
Which leaves us with one final, kind of mind-blowing thought. The Axsimaros was saved on the fringes, a deleted scene from history. It really makes you wonder, what other bonus tracks, what other lost narratives are still out there, just waiting in some old monastery or forgotten library, holding another precious piece of our shared human story?